Hey, welcome to Live from the Lesson Studio tonight. Let's take a look at some funky chords today. We're going to look at ninth chords and how to play some blues with ninth chords. So I'm playing a ninth chord here. It's A7, D6, and I'm barring my third finger across G, B, and high E on the 7th fret. So that's a standard way to play a ninth chord. A ninth chord is a root, a third, a fifth, a seventh, and then a 9. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm adding the ninth note of the scale. It's a dominant chord. It has a major third and a flat 7. So this is like your go-to funk chord. If you had to have one chord that you funked out on, this is the go-to funk chord right here, this ninth chord. You can play it lots of different ways. I'm playing E9. You'll notice my second finger is wrapped all the way around to that fret right there to make sure it sounds right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ba to chick. It's down, up, chick. Ba to chick. Ba to chick. So ba to chick up. And if I go down a half step like this, and back up again, and I can go a half step above too, and back down again. So I can go like this. So I can go. Now if I play this as a blues, I want to go to the 4 chord next. So in the blues, in E, if I go, A is my 4 chord, right? The standard blues progression. But I'm going to play a ninth chord for A. So let's try this one. Like this. It's going to be first finger on A2, third finger on D5, second finger on G4, and your fourth finger on B5. So that's the voicing for an A9. Again, it's a root, a third, a fifth, flat 7, and a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's your third, there's your seventh, the 9, and the 5. A4, D5, G4, B5. Looks like that. Okay, so that's an A9. I had an E9 first, which was A7, D6, and I'm barring my third finger on these 3 strings right here. And that's my E9 chord. Okay, so to practice this one, you have to kind of roll your third finger this way to get those notes to sound out. And then put this guy down and put this guy down. It takes some time to get that ninth chord to sound out, but that is the funk master chord of all time. If you're going to play funk music, that's the one you want to learn first. You can add your little finger up here like this and do this. That's kind of cool sounding. Very funky. The next one we just did was this. A4, D5, G4, and B5. That's an A9. It looks like that, and that's the 4 chord in the key of E. So if I go like this, I played the chord like this, I went down a half step, which is 1 fret, and back up 1 fret. And I did it again, down a fret, and then up a fret. I get this. Now I'm going to play this guy. There's my A9. And again, we're playing funky blues in E. We're learning how to play a blues with ninth chords, playing with some funky sounds. I play this A9 like this. I can do the same exact thing. Down a half step, and back up a half step. So it's like this. And then back to my E9 again, which again is wrapping your third finger from the G string down on the 7th fret. First finger on D6, second finger on A7. Creates this ninth chord. And I'm going to go here, down a half step, and up a half step. Down a half step, up a half step, and up another half step. So that's chromaticism. This is cool sounding, right? No, the chicken wiki, cheeky, cheeky wiki stuff, that's all this chicken chang I always talk about. The choke is when you play a string and you dampen the other ones. And then the chick is dead strings. You can see I have a little delay on here. Just one though. I took the multi-delay off because it gets to be kind of jumbled when you're funking. And the multi-delay is like all over the place. So this is just kind of chick, chick, chick. And if your tempo gets off and you forget how to play with a tempo, just hit the delay, it'll get you squared away. I did the entire thing on my phone here with my metronome. So if I put the metronome on, you'll hear it. It was like, hear that? So that's kind of what I set this to in the first place when I was trying to record this. So you want to practice with your metronome. Really important to do that, to practice getting in time. And if I do any kind of thing where I'm using a looper, I'll use the metronome to make sure I'm squared away. And it'll help you, too, to set your delay to that same marking. This is at 124 beats per minute. So I can kind of get back on track if I get lost. Now, if the 1 chord's E, and if we go 1, 2, 3, 4 is A, 5 chord's going to be B. And then back to E again. So for the B, we're going to play this B5. It's A6 with the first finger, D7 with the second finger, third finger on G6, and your fourth finger on B7. Looks like this. And that's a cool sound too. That's the 5 chord in the key. So now I can do the same thing, up a fret, or down a fret first, down a fret, up. And then back to the 4 chord, which is here. Back to this one. Put that together, you get. For the turnaround, I went here, then here, then here. So it's like A9, A sharp 9, B9. Okay, so again. That chicka-ticka, I'm going chicka-chick, and then playing the chord on the way back up. Chicka-chickang. So it's like. If you add this note at the top, that's the 13th of the chord. That always sounds good too. So eventually what you want to do is learn how to play these 9th chords in lots of different positions and kind of play this funkiness all over the guitar. You have 9th chord here. Let's say, for example, we have A9 looks like this, A9 like this, one like this. These are just off the top of my head. Here's an A9 here. Here's one here. There's one here. So you can get these 9th chords happening lots of different ways, and then you can kind of throw a little riff in here too. So if I go like this, I missed it. What I was doing here is just going, that simple little riff that makes it sound so cool. If you're just joining me, what I'm doing here is I'm playing a blues with 9th chords. Trying to look at playing a blues in E, with an E9, an A9, and a B9. Let me see what that says there. Hello, Drew. Hey, what's up, Scott Marks? How you doing? It's my friend from forever. Scott played drums in my very first band. Man, we could tell some stories for hours about that one. Scott, I got to talk to you about an upcoming gig that might be happening again at the ice rink. I'll let you know, and maybe we could have a big thing. Maybe Jeff can sit in. I'm trying to get that lined up. It'll be fun. So over the holidays. So E9, down a half step, E9, down a half step, and then up a half step. It looks like this. Let's say here, these go away so fast. Yes, I did. Yes, you did play drums. Scott and Kurt showed up at my front door, and they were like, "Do you want to be in a band?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be in a band." And that was it. And then years later, here we are. I've known these guys forever. I have an entire clan and family. I mean, it's all family of friends. Scott, I'm going to try to make it on Christmas Eve. I haven't seen you guys in almost 5 million years, it feels like. So I miss everybody. So if I go here, by the way, I also played in a band with Scott's brother, J.D. Strum, for a long time too, and that was cool. We played a billion shows, made a record, we were on the radio station a bunch of times, and did a lot of stuff too. So yeah, nice to see you, Scott. So if I go... Fantastic, thank you. I'm going to throw that little riff in this time. I went here and then here. It's so simple. You don't have to do much to be funky. Just that little thing there. Like I was saying, so you want to learn how to play these ninth chords in different positions. So I've been doing this for so long, I can grab a weird ninth chord here, or a weird ninth chord here, here, or up here. I'll make a video on how to play, let's say 6 different ways to play a cool ninth chord. That'd be a good video. So you guys can really learn how to funk out with that. The ninth chord is the one that sounds the most funky. If I look at like... Well, sounds like Funky Music White Boy. It's the same idea. So what you can do then is start to add in this pentatonic scale I was talking about. Put the blue note in right here. It's so funny, Scott. I was just thinking about you today, actually. It's funny that you jumped on the YouTube. I'm telling you my plans through YouTube. Weird. So now what we want to do is play a blues. This is the ninth chord is the 1 chord. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, A is the 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the 5 chord. So the simple blues would be like, in fact, Scott's dad used to play a blues for us that he wrote. And that was like the first, maybe one of the first blues songs I ever heard. I can't replicate that, but basically in 7th chords it sounds like this. It sounds a lot different with the ninth chords. You know, completely different thing. We do this. Now let's go. All the way back up again. Let's throw the riff in. So down here, a little hard to grab that riff, but you can do other riffs too. If you can find a pentatonic scale, you want to learn to play your pentatonic scales across the entire guitar neck. I can't stress that enough. That's on the channel. Now, once I start soloing on top of this, I did a little loop version of this. Check it out. I can play over top of this too. So what you want to play over top of this is to learn how to play your sort of Mixolydian ideas. So if you take a look at your little pentatonic scale box here, the one we all know and love, and there's some videos on this channel about how to navigate this. What you want to do is to play this ninth chord, seventh chord or ninth chord, dominant sound is you need to play this major third, minor third to major third thing. Like that, so you have to go. So it's like this, then this. Chuck Berry had it right with his riffs like by playing this out of this chord. So if I'm going to funk on this, I'm going to go. See? It's very simple. I just want. So I'm playing the pentatonic scale. But I'm playing the G12 and then G13 right after it. Sounds like the Leonard Skinner song. The official name of this is a chord scale. If I play like he's playing out of this B flat chord, he's playing out of the dominant seventh chord like this. That's the trick. So you have this, then this, and then this. Look for the channel on the channel for the video called The Most Important Note in the Blues. And then there's another one, it's the Go-To Blues Licks. It's also on this live from the lesson studio playlist, the Go-To Blues Licks. We'll get more in depth on this. Basically, to navigate this sound, you have to play this. Now, another approach is to bend this note slightly like this. And what that does is it takes the minor third and it gives you a little taste of the major third. The same thing happens with the seventh, too, if I go like this. Third. So those are the cool licks you want to play for these blues licks. I'm just playing D12, D14, then G12, slightly bending it. The sound is almost like that schoolyard taunt. Like you're sticking your tongue out at somebody. Well, this is really important because if you don't do this, you sound like a bull in a china shop. You want to be able to make that happen. This is that guide tone. Now, if you don't know what guide tones are, there's 2 lessons on the channel about guide tones. That's the third and the seventh of the dominant seventh chord, like this, these 2 notes. That's what matters is hit this, like rock and roll hoochie coo kind of sound. So if I do that, just guide tones low, you'll hear how the guide tones work with this. Check it out. Guide tones. I'm going to move 1 fret lower for A7. Sounds like some kind of a song from a Clint Eastwood. So check out the blues guide tones video and also just the video on guide tones in general to help clue you in on that. So if you're playing over top of this, you want to kind of stay in this little box if you want to. Manipulate that note, or manipulate this note, or play this. Do it slowly. So this note matters. You can do that kind of sound. Now when you get to the A7 chord, or the A9 chord, so if you take this little box here, Move that down 1 fret, you get this. That's that 9th chord. So it's all right in that spot there. Navigating these dominant chords is one of the trickier things about starting guitar, kind of going from that like beginner phase into the late beginner phase, intermediate phase. And you find yourself having to navigate chord changes which sound kind of hard for you, maybe because you're not used to having to think beyond the straight pentatonic scale. So it's a journey, and it takes time, and you want to kind of learn one little nugget at a time and kind of take that home and kind of play with it and get used to that new concept and infuse that into your whole bag of tricks, if you will. Like every time you get a new concept, you take it home and you try to put that into your thing, into your style, into your the way you play the guitar. So that really matters to do that. Hey, if you're just joining us, we're looking at how to play the blues with dominant 9th chords, with these 9th chords. I'm playing an E9 first. Kind of recap this again. Here's E9. Roll my 3rd finger like this. First finger goes on D, and the 2nd finger goes on A, and it's a 9th chord. So it's a root, a 3rd, 5th, flat 7, and a 9. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's your 9 right there. So it's a root and a 9. There's your 3rd, and there's your 7. Root, 3rd, 7, 9. And if I play this, that's the 13th chord, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to funk out on this. I'm going to go like this, move down 1 fret, and back up 1 fret. And then I'm going to go down 1 fret and back up 2 frets. So it sounds like this. I got it set to 124 beats a minute. You want to use your metronome maybe to do that, or if you get your delay set, the delay will keep you in time. Now this rhythm that I'm doing, the strumming, I call it the bada chicken. Bada chicken, bada chicken. Scott, who's watching right now, I think will remember the drag, this J.D. Strum song, was a bada chicken for me. Bada chicken, like junga chick. It's a dot on the way down. It's dotted, so it's held a little longer. Googa chick. So a lot of times I'll use onomatopoeia when I play the guitar. I'll sound things out and make little words to represent the rhythms or represent the notes so that I don't have to think about the theory anymore. I can hear the rhythms in my mind as a little word I've created. So bada chicken makes sense for me. Bada chicken. So this ticka-ticka, ticka-ticka, that's a cool sound too. That's something Charlie Parker did all the time. The drag, great song. Why, yes, it is. Scott, I'm playing live on the radio again. I'm kind of excited about that. I was just asked to play on 92.9 for some, I'm going to get this wrong. It's not the Yinzer show, but some Pittsburgh show where they have guests every week and they have a musical guest. And they want me to play something acoustic, so I think I'm going to do Bird's Eye View. That could be fun. So I'm excited. Those types of things make your career so fun because you don't ever know what you're to expect that's coming next. Like you're just moving along, doing your thing, and then things pop up. And that's what I always liked about it. I like the adventure of it. So that's the upside of the career. So what we do is this triple-a-ta, chicka-ticka, is a really cool sound. It's done a lot by like Charlie Parker, for example. Triple it and then and up. Chicka-ticka, 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 chicka-ticka. Thank you, sir. So check it out. If I go da-ga-da-gunk-gunk. Again, I'm playing a 9th chord. If you just joined us, it's a 9th chord. We're playing a funky blues with E9. And then if I go up 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, do, re, mi, fa, to A, instead of playing a 7th chord, I'm going to play an A9. Now, there's lots of ways to play A9 across the guitar neck. The one I've chosen to do is your first finger's on A4, 3rd finger's D5, 2nd finger's G4, 4th finger's B5. And so that's the 9th chord in that voicing. And I'm going to go, kind of sounds like Stormy Monday, right? There's a live stream video of Stormy Monday actually on this kind of playlist if you look for that. I'm using the same chord form for that as well. So for funk, I can go here, then down a half step, then here, down a half step, and then up a half step. So it sounds like this. So starting on E, back to E, 5 chord, B9 is 2 frets higher than A9. It's A6, D7, G6, and B7. So I play tons and tons and tons of weddings in multiple different bands, and when I'm playing the weddings, these chords come up all the time. So they may seem something like that you're not used to playing right now, but as you progress in your career and in your playing, you're going to find that these chords become just as normal to you. It's like an A chord or a G chord or a D chord. You're going to find yourself playing ninth chords. You're going to want to have an arsenal of ninth chords. It's really an important thing to get down. So like I was saying a minute ago, like I can play A9 lots of different ways. So I've been doing this for, I don't know, a little while. So I can play all these different A9 chords, voicings, and so you can grab these and they're really, really handy. It's a root and a third and a seventh, and then you throw the 9 at the top. So it's not a dominant 7th chord. It sounds a little different. One of the weird things about a 9th chord too is you can solo over top of it in a slow sense with a pentatonic scale because it's a slower thing. Over a dominant 7th chord, you just cannot play that pentatonic scale. So I was talking about sort of some soloing ideas over top of this a second ago, but what we want to do first is this. After you get that funky thing down, we're going to add a couple notes in. We're going to go like that, these 2 Hendrix notes. Dum, 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 that kind of thing. So we're going to go. A simple little boom sounds so cool right there. So the 3 techniques again are the choke, the chick, and the chang. The choke is when you dampen the strings you're not playing. Like if I play octaves, I'm dampening all the strings, so these are all dead. You only want to hear the song, the strings you want to hear. And then I'm chicking, chick, right? So it's onomatopoeia. It sounds like a chick, chicka. And I'm changing, which is the chord that results after the chick. Chick chang, chick chang, chick chang, chick chang, chick chang, chick chang. Now you can also do like this kind of thing. I'm kind of just riffing here. Kind of sounds like a Michael Jackson riff or something. So use your pentatonic scale, right? Here it is. So I can go like this, I can go. Now what that was is a different form of A9. I just played A9 down here. This guy is D7, G6, B8, and high E7. D7, G6, B8, high E7. So this is used by Led Zeppelin. Like Jimmy Page plays this all the time. This is like a, you know. There it is, the Lemon song. It's like the second chord he plays. It's so cool sounding. So if I throw that into my funky riff, I'm going dum, dum, dum. But instead of going like dum, 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 I'm going to go dum, dum, dum. I'll do it slowly. Dum, ticka, ticka, dum, ticka, 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 ticka. This is a dead string thing. Like don't count. If you do it with chicken picking with your thumb and fingers, you get a cool sound of going dead strings in between. It's kind of simulating a bass. Most people do that with the first and second fingers. Can't do it. I've always used the third finger. So if I go dun, 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 when I did Muscle Car on the Old Horizon record, that's what I was doing. Just funking with my thumb. So if I go dum, 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 slide it up and go dum. Then same thing here, down and up. Back, so we have like it's cool also to go down and four and look at it hanging out there. Like that, like the grunge from Led Zeppelin. See? Look at the hang out to dry. Now the 5 chords is B9. I did B9 here a minute ago. But I can also do it here, since I just learned this A9 here. So I can go back to here. Now another cool thing you can do, I don't know where your finger picking chops are. Once you start getting good at finger picking, we can do this. We kind of do a piano technique. And grab with your fingers. Just pick without the pick altogether may be better. So I'm just going to go off here for a second on this. So when you do this for a while, you can start doing stuff like that where you'll really funk out. So again, just E9, A9, and B9, doing a 9th chord funky blues. It's such a cool jam. I really, sometimes I just like to do something like that where I'm not overthinking anything and I'm just letting this simple progression be what I do for a little while. And I kind of get myself inside of it and breathe it for a bit and see what comes out of it. See what I come up with. See if I can just move the ball a little further, kick the can further down the road. Let's just come up with some new stuff that I haven't done before. So my thing becomes a little more advanced than it was when I first sat down. I guess that's sort of always the goal, is to get maybe a little bit better or a little bit more enlightenment or a little bit further along the path each time you play. So you can do a lot of cool stuff with these 9th chords. I'll try to get a video on the channel with more specific teaching the 9th chords in their various formats. But If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I had a good time just chatting with you. Please visit the lesson channel. There's lots of stuff over there. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm available. Just leave comments in the comment section and I'll get back with you. I'd like to answer your guitar questions. If you have anything you're curious about or wondering how to do or just don't know how to do or something that's been bothering you that you're not sure how it works or whatever. Yeah, I'd like to hear from you. All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening and thanks for tuning in.